Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video to do my Green Bay Packers Beast Recap Week 7 episode. The Green Bay Packers defeated the Arizona Cardinals 27-23 in a hard-fought battle to the finish. Yeah, I'm glad we won. But man, oh man, they made it so much more difficult than it should have been. It's just ridiculous. The Packers in this game didn't lead until the end of the game when we got the winning score. So many problems. So many inconsistencies. I mean, the front four stepped up late, made some key sacks and a key turnover. But my God, man, the secondary was completely letting us down. Getting big completed plays on third down to Marvin Harrison Jr. They're going to their tight end a lot. Got a lot to that. Got a lot of success there. Just things that really didn't need to happen in this game. So going over this, it's really frustrating because they had a backup quarterback in there. They didn't even have their starting quarterback in there. You know what I'm saying? Brissett, who has started a little bit, but he's a backup guy. He's had starting experience, but he's a backup guy. Okay. And he was just slinging it, shredding us. Not to mention we did have a lot of penalties in this game, which didn't help matters. Just a lot of things has got to be cleaned up. Especially with the upcoming schedule. Next week we got the freaking Steelers. Aaron Rodgers looked really good this week despite losing, and we cannot have this inconsistent play. That's the thing that I hated most about this game is the secondary just really didn't do that much, especially when we would push them back. I think there was one where we had them like third and long because they had like a penalty, and then Brissett just chucks it right down the field, boom, first down. It was stuff like that. It was bullshit like that was happening in the game that just really pissed me off. 1 second before the end of the first half, we were able to kick a Green Bay Packers record field goal by our new kicker because our regular kicker, Brandon, got injured. So the kicker we just signed last week, who did okay. He did okay last week with the field goals. Lucas kicked a 61-yard field goal. We signed him right before he wanted to become a teacher or whatever, because he hadn't played all yet last year. So that's going to create some kicking controversy, I would say. Since for anybody who doesn't remember, we got Brandon last year after the kicker we had sucked. And he kicked the winning field goal for us against the Houston Texans last year. And it was his job coming into this year. And now Lucas over here just kicked a Green Bay Packers record 61-yard field goal right before the half, which put us below only 7 at the half, which was huge because, as we see from the final score, That ended up being the difference. If we get the touchdown at the end of the game like that, without that field goal, we're probably only up 1 point or 2 points at the most, which allows the Cardinals to get into field goal range and kick a winning field goal rather than being forced to go for a touchdown on their last possession. So that 61-yard field goal did mean the difference. It absolutely did. So very, very important kick in this ball game. He also, he got all his extra points. He did kick. He kicked a earlier field goal before that. Obviously early in the game. But obviously not nearly as big as the 61-yard field goal because that's what everyone's going to talk about. But yeah, the biggest thing of this game that everyone's going to be talking about is the 4th and 2 play. And the Packers have been going for it a few times on 4th downs, or teased a few times for going for it. There was a 4th down and 5, I believe it was earlier, that they went for it and didn't get it. But this 4th and 2 play that they went for on their last possession, which ended up being their last possession, it was a very controversial and gutsy decision. And I say that because at the time when the play was, because originally they were going to line up for a field goal and try to tie the game because they were only down by 3 points. But then the Packers decided to use one of their 2 timeouts they had left, and they decided to go for it, which they ended up getting it. Jordan Love threw a perfect pass to Tucker Kraft inbounds for the first down, and we would go on to score not too long after that. But the issue I have with this play, even though it was successful, is the fact that it wasn't decided right off the bat and instead was decided after using one of our timeouts. That play goes south, the Cardinals can pretty much just run out the clock because they had all 3 of their timeouts. We only had 1. 2-minute warning would have been wind down. There would have been nothing else we could have done. We wouldn't have had that much time left. So it was bad. I don't want people to come out here and thinking that I thought that it was a great decision, because really it was a good decision because he got it, but it was also a terrible clock management decision because that should have been decided before they lined up for the field goal, so they didn't have to waste the timeout. Okay, so, I mean, if it hadn't been successful, I would have been more ranting and raving right now on this video than I am right now from my body language, because we would have probably lost this game had we not gotten that 4th down and 2. In terms of the defense on the front 4, because obviously our secondary was shit today, Parsons was the best guy in the game. He got 3 sacks at the end of by the end of this game, including a crucial sack on one of the final downs for the Cardinals on the Cardinals' final drive, which we stopped them on. Quarterback pressures, solo tackles, tackles for lost. He gave 4, solo 4, and then tackles 5, and then he had a bunch of people on. There was like a graph I had seen that quarterback pressure at least 21 times that Fox had been showing. So yeah, monster day. Another guy, another key guy in this game, Rashad Gary, who had who had a fumble, who not only had a sack, he had a fumble in this game. And that was huge. That was the only turnover of the game, and that led to points for us. It created the first tie of the game in that point, so it really did get us back in the ball game. So yeah, those are the key guys. Walker also did good. He had a 1.5 sack in the game. Edinburgh, who had the other half with Walker. So yeah, very good on the front four side. Just the secondary was really, the secondary was really bad. It was the front four of our defense really bailed the secondary out, because the secondary could not stop Harrison in this game. They could not stop the tight ends in the game. I was like, ooh. McBride, yeah, McBride. They could not stop that guy, with the exception of the times that Burkett freaking overthrew him. Brissett, I'm sorry. With the exception of Brissett, overthrowing or underthrowing him, they could not stop McBride. McBride was on a renegade on us. So at the end of the day, Jordan Love had 19 completions for 29 attempts. He had 179 yards. He had 1 touchdown pass to Tucker Kraft, which ended up, no, that wasn't. No, okay, yeah, that was not the final one. He had 1 for Tucker Kraft, but obviously he had the biggest play of the biggest play of the catch Tucker Kraft had was on that 4th down and 2 play. Josh Jacobs was a beast in this game, despite the limited carries he had, because he was obviously limited with injury. He had 13 attempts for 55 yards rushing, 2 rushing touchdowns, including the winning touchdown. Jordan Love had 4 attempts for 22 yards rushing. Wilson had 6 attempts for 17 yards rushing, and that was it there. Romeo Doubs had 6 receptions for 72 yards, no touchdowns. I was kind of upset by that, but nonetheless, great day for him. He also had a big catch that led to the field goal right before the half, that 61-yard field goal that set that up with 1 second left on the timeout there. Tucker Kraft, 5 receptions for 58 yards receiving, 1 touchdown pass, and he had the big winning catch that set up the Josh Jacobs' 2nd rushing touchdown in the game. Matthew Golden had 4 receptions for 37 yards, no touchdowns, and then the rest of people had 1 reception for 6 yards or less. Gary, we already talked about him. He had the sack, forced fumble, and then, of course, the Packers recovered the only turnover of the game. Yeah. Very, very hard-fought victory for the Packers, but again, I do have concerns because, again, this was against the backup quarterback, and really, the Cardinals shouldn't even have been in this game with us, okay? And the fact that we weren't leading until less than 2 minutes left in the entire ball game, that's not a recipe of success. We got to get better in these games. We got to correct a lot, especially when we go up against the teams that are going to actually contend for the playoffs and the Super Bowl. We got the Lions again for Thanksgiving. They're getting back into their cylinder. We beat them, but now they're getting back into their cylinder, and we got to compete and beat them again. Keep holding on to this division. We got the Steelers next week. Panthers, obviously they're a team we should beat, but who the frig knows? The schedule that's coming up is going to be a difficult schedule, and you can't be, floating around with teams that you should beat very easily. So that is going to be my concern going forward with this team now. Is where are we going to be at? So yeah, it's a good team win, but we got a lot, and I repeat, a lot to correct. But that is it, guys. Make sure to comment, rate. If you like this video, my videos, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell for latest content. Thank you. And that's about it, guys. I am the SS Ultimate Goku, and I'm out of here. Peace. Also, make sure, besides my YouTube channel, follow me on the Twitch, the Instagram, with the same name, and also I have a Discord link in the description where we discuss many topics for fictional media, as well as football and my Packers. So make sure to check that out. And now I'm out. Peace.